Hello. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time. I appreciate it. Today I want to talk about an article that I posted to LinkedIn this morning. I wrote an article, and here's how it came about. As you know, I shared First Home IQ's 2025 Homebuyer Report on Gen Z and Millennial. It was a great report. It was awesome. I think I did a video on it on this past Saturday. But in the report, something that caught my eye is that 35% of Gen Z and millennial homebuyers use AI as their primary information and education source. And I go, wow. And that number is only growing, by the way. And I was like, wow, what are they doing? And what does it look like? And how is it helping them? See, because when somebody says they're now using AI, like ChatGPT or Perplexity or Gemini, what they're saying that is they're using it instead of you. That doesn't mean that we don't have a role somewhere in there, but our role is diminishing as people use technology and other sources for their information and education. And what I thought, that I then go, boy, it would probably be really useful to actually try to understand how ChatGPT might help folks. And so if you're thinking about that, and in my article I wrote, I'm like, okay, what do you think, these Gen Zers and millennials, what do you think they're using AI for? And I came up with a list of things that they're most likely using AI for. And first, general advice and education, because AI is available 24/7. Whenever the home buyer wants, they can ask questions. They don't have to feel judged. They might ask questions about the process or market conditions or financing options, right? They definitely ask AI for guidance on qualification. AI can actually pre-qualify them. AI has all the guidelines, right? So, AI can help them select the right program, down payment. It can do a free pre-qualification. And once again, they do it in the security of their own home without any judgment, right? So you can go to AI and you can get pre-qualified and learn about your qualifications. They can definitely start to get educated in financial literacy and budgeting. They can use AI to create a budget to help them understand how they can afford the house or how they can save for the down payment. We already talked about how they can help pick loan programs up to and including down payment programs. Remember, it has all the information, so it can go, hey, you should check out this program, this program. Looks like you'd qualify. It could definitely give market information and trends, and this is becoming a much bigger deal. Because AI will predict the likelihood of the appreciation in that micro geographic area. And so it can give it some sort of advice on whether what type of investment it's just something for housing or how will it impact your finances. Really can give you pretty good information. And then, of course, more and more, AI can actually refer a real estate agent or a loan officer. And one of the things I'll come back to this in a second. So that's definitely what's happening today. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, you know what else AI can do? It can teach it how to house hack. It can give them all sorts of alternative solutions on how to afford a house, whether it's roommates or family helping. It totally is armed. And I'm going to show you some things in a second. And then, of course, it can actually give it a pretty good estimate of what the property's value is. So it can do an AVM, essentially, for the buyer. And all this could be while they're in their pajamas at home at night, and they can just go, a couple go, hey, I wonder if we qualify for a home. Like a really low stress, low pressure way. Let's play with ChatGPT, right? And then, of course, AI can help them create a remodeling or an interior design plan, including up to budget and what to buy. And they can create, images of what it would look like. To some extent, AI can provide legal and tax advice type of thing. But so that's just some of the stuff that our clients are using AI today. And so let's say a third of our clients start asking these questions with ChatGPT. I think it becomes very important for us to understand what ChatGPT tells them. If ChatGPT is now, it's not only my assistant, but it's my competitor. I should really know what my competitor is doing to take away my client. That's the way I view this. And that starts with, by the way, I would recommend every loan officer, every real estate agent, whatever market you're in, ask ChatGPT, ask Perplexity, ask Gemini, what real estate agent do you recommend in this zip code? And it will give you 3 agent recommendations, and it will tell you why. It will go, I really recommend Susie Q. She has 4.9 star reviews with 2,000 reviews. She's known for this, this, and this. Her clients love her. She specializes in this. She dominates the marketplace. She has 25% or 30% market share. It will give you really specific things. And then on top of that, it will rate their company. So it will not only tell you about the real estate agent or the loan officer, it will also tell you about how the ChatGPT or whatever gauges that company. And she works for a reputable company, a top 5 company, or the company is small company. There's been various reviews on the company. It gives you a lot, and so you want to see who ChatGPT is picking in your market. Step 1. Step 2 is you need to learn how to get ChatGPT and all the generative AIs to recommend you. And how you do that is really simple. You ask, ChatGPT, hey, who's the best loan officer in my market? And it gives the answer. And you go, how did you pick those? How did you pick those? Like, why did you pick those? And then you go, how would I become your lender of choice? And just ask it. And it will tell you. You have to bolster your reviews. You have to do this. You have to do your social media. It will tell you. Because here's the thing, and I've talked about this before, SEO is dying. Search engine optimization is dying. You know why? Because more and more people are doing their searches with Perplexity or ChatGPT or Gemini, and they don't use SEO. They use completely different. They have all the information on the internet, and they use a completely different algorithm to figure out who to recommend. And so one of the things we have to learn is, how do we get recommended? And the best way to do that is just ask ChatGPT. So I did a interesting exercise. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I'm going to share my screen here. Excuse me. This is, this might get a little, dry, but don't worry. I want you to follow with what I'm doing. So I went to my ChatGPT and I said, hello, chat. I call ChatGPT chat. I go, hello, chat. I want you to play the role of an experienced mortgage loan officer. In this role, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I want you to be a great advisor. In this chat, you'll be advising a potential homeowner that is a Gen Z or millennial home buyer to help you understand to help them understand here's what I said. To help you understand their perspective, concerns, and needs, I'm going to upload the recent 2025 Next Gen Homebuyer Report from First Home IQ. Are you ready to get started advising this first-time homebuyer? So what I did is to give chat context to who these people are and background. I uploaded the First Home IQ Next Gen Report that profiles Gen Zs and millennials, all their thoughts, their concerns, long surveys about home ownership, financial literacy, all these things. And so I gave that information to ChatGPT so it had a better basis to address them specifically versus just every homeowner in the world. And so Chat said, thanks. I reviewed the report. I'm ready to fully step into the role of a seasoned mortgage loan officer advising Gen Z and millennial first-time home buyers based on their current attitudes, challenges, and preferences. Whether they're struggling with affordability, overwhelmed by financial decisions, skeptical of professionals, or relying more on AI and social media for advice, I'm here to guide them with clear, relevant, and empathetic support. Let's get started. What's your first question? Right? That's fine. So I asked a really simple question. I will ask a bunch of questions. I'm not going to bore you with them all. I'm going to just read you one of my questions and read one and Chat's answer. And what I want you to think is that how you sound? That's what I want you to think. Do you give the same advice, the same attention to detail? And if not, what does that mean? And if so, what does that mean? And I also say, just know, I did not train ChatGPT on these answers, meaning if I was a loan officer, this is another thing I'm encouraging everybody, use AI. So I would use AI in every part of my business, and I would train AI. So if I was going to have AI help me create home loan action plans or home buyership plans, I would teach it all the rules, all my philosophies, all my financial beliefs. I would teach it so that it created plans that fit my philosophy, right, with my strategies. I didn't do that in this case, so we're just going to get whatever ChatGPT kicks out. But if I was using it to be my assistant, I would really educate it to give me the results I wanted. But I asked a really interesting, easy question. Is now a good time to buy a house, and if so, why? And I'm thinking about some, couple in their 20s, sitting in their apartment. Maybe, it's snowing outside. They're just playing around. They're going, I wonder when we can buy a house. And is now even a good time to buy? So that's why I asked ChatGPT. Now here's ChatGPT's question. Like I said, I'm not going to read you all the questions and answers. I invite you to do the same thing with your AI. You learn how AI is advising your clients and then figure out how to leverage it. But anyway, excuse me, here's the answer. That's a smart question and a very common one right now. Let me give you an honest, nuanced answer that respects your situation as a Gen Z or millennial first-time home buyer. Is it a good time to buy a house? Most people don't think so. According to the 2025 Next Gen Homebuyer Report, 59% of young buyers believe it's not a good time to buy, and only 19% believe it is. This belief is largely due to high interest rates, affordability challenges, uncertainty about the market and the economy. So you're feeling unsure, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Whether it's a good time to buy depends on you, not the headlines. Let me break it down into 3 smart frameworks you can use. 1, your personal readiness. Ask yourself, do you have stable income and a 3 to 6 month emergency fund? Have you started saving for a down payment? Do you plan to stay in the home for at least 5+ years? If the answer is yes to those questions, you're in a strong position to start exploring, even if the market isn't perfect. 2, affordability isn't just about rates. Yes, rates are higher than a few years ago, but here's what most people miss. Rents are rising too and offer no return. Home prices may continue to rise, especially if supply stays tight. If you wait for rates to fall, competition will spike and prices could go up even more. And of course, you can always refinance later if rates drop. Something that we call date the rate and marry the home. This is ChatGPT now answering these. Third, this is here is the third framework it shares with them. Use strategy to beat the market. As a loan, remember this is ChatGPT talking. As a loan officer, here's what I help smart buyers do right. 1, buy below your budget to reduce risk and give yourself flexibility. 2, consider fixer-uppers, co-buying, or house hacking to improve affordability. 3, use first-time homebuyer programs, low down payment options, and seller incentives. And then 4th, shop in lower cost areas where your money goes further. Bottom line, no one can time the market perfectly, but if you're financially prepared and willing to be strategic, you can build wealth while others are waiting on the sidelines. Let's figure out if buying now makes sense for you specifically. Would you like to talk about your monthly payment could look like or what down payment options might fit your situation? Or do you want to explore what home buying strategies like co-buying or house hacking might look like in practice? Wow, right? I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good. Not only does that sound pretty good, that doesn't sound like what I hear from every loan officer. I don't know if loan officers are as well scripted as that. So here's the thing. 1, if you read that, and once again, I strongly encourage you to go through a consultation process with your AI and ask it 100 questions. And then go, gosh, a lot of these answers are better than I would give. Then you know what you need to do? You need to adopt them, right? And that's where you need to partner with ChatGPT or whatever generative AI you're using, partner with it to help improve your game. That's where you're going to use technology, you're going to use AI to make you better. And as you start to adopt their stuff, like I mentioned, you're going to teach and train your AI to better reflect your philosophy and strategy and advice, and you're going to get a really polished thing, right? Because remember, more and more, our clients are going to go to something like ChatGPT before they come to us. And so if a client goes to ChatGPT, let's say I'm a client and I go to ChatGPT and I go, hey, is now a good time to buy? I get this answer, which is a pretty good answer in my opinion. Now, would I answer it slightly differently? Yes. But it's not, it's not a horrible answer, right? But so I go to ChatGPT, I get the answer, I read it, and then I get referred to you and I ask you the same question and you kind of fumble around with it. Not good. Not good. It's just another example of how we all have to get better. We have to get better because all the forces surrounding us are getting better. Whether it's technology or AI or our competitors or companies in the space, whatever it is, they're all getting better. We can't be left behind. We need to get better too. So in my article, the things that I said, I really suggested to stay relevant is augment whatever your current offering is with AI, including your advice. Really, I keep saying, inviting you, get on your AI and go do like I did. upload some information, like I use the Gen Z report, and then have a conversation acting as a home buyer and have AI advise you, and then go, gosh, I could probably use some of that stuff, or, I got to strengthen this, or, it's wrong there. I gotta fix it, right? And then the next thing is make sure you're using AI to help you with your overall presentation, right? Your delivery of your advice. I think AI can really help there. But what you have to do, and this is something, and I've said it a million times in the course, people say this, AI is not, for the most part, is not going to replace people. People using AI, when I say AI, I mean AI and general technology. People using AI and technology are going to replace those that don't. So the first thing you have to do is use AI, right? Because people that use it are going to have a much better product. So use that. And you got to just keep saying it, educated. And I would just tell you with AI, the most important, concept you need to have is curiosity. Just try to do whatever you do first through AI. Do it every time and then train it so you only have to one-time things. Now, the thing I have told you too, which I cannot invite you enough, start experimenting with AI. Just like I put in this question, I put a whole bunch of questions. And I love asking AI about what real estate agent or what loan officer or what lender or what real estate company I should use. It's so enlightening. I suggest you do the same thing. We have to be aware of what our potential clients are getting exposed to. I have one last point, and then I'll get off this. So I appreciate you guys' time. Here's the last point. Sometimes we can get completely enamored with the AI. Like I could spend a day and I could create a wonderful advice journey. I could create a home buyer book. I mean, you could just go all out. Just the rules of home buying, everything you could create it in AI and all great, really good, right? And I could use AI to use all these things. Here's the thing I always want to caution you. While we want to fully use AI, we need to make sure that we're putting something human or of value on top of it. Because if all we're doing is being a funnel for AI to give information to our clients, then at some point we won't be necessary, right? If we don't add value in that exchange, now of course we're going to add value by being human. That adds value, right? With emotional intelligence and connection and relationship. But on top of that, we better put some, we better make sure we're adding some extra value and advice of value in our strategies. If we're just, all we're doing is reflecting AI's value, then at some point we'll be replaced. And so don't get lazy. Don't go, gosh, that looks so great. I'm going to let AI do this for me. You have to go, gosh, that looks great. I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to make it better. And then I'm going to add my own value stack on top of it that only I can do. And then that will make you wealthy. That will give you viability and that will give you security. So don't get lazy on this. Don't be afraid of it and don't get lazy on it. AI is a great thing. Embrace it, leverage it better than your clients leverage it better than your competitors leverage it. Make sure you're adding value on top of it and it will all be good. We'll be doing, it will help us serve our calling, which is helping people, achieve the American dream of home ownership and the related wealth from home ownership. So all good. That's my message today. I know I went long. Check out my article. It's on LinkedIn today. Check out my article, LinkedIn. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Hope you're having a great week. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks.